So I'm Stephen Howell, I'm the academic evangelist, which is not as fancy as the technical evangelist, but it's still cool to be able to go out and speak to students, and in your case, potential students. And it's really, really strange to see the huge changes in what a student really is. I mean, if you say to someone, you know, I'm a teacher, they assume you're teaching with small kids, maybe you're secondary school teacher, big kids. My first job as a lecturer, okay, I was a teacher before I became a lecturer. My first job with a lecturer, I was 22 and everyone in the room was older than me. And there were people who'd gone back to college. I was lecturing at DCU and they were doing a course on computer programming. And they were guards and nurses and doctors and all sorts of mad things. And I couldn't understand, like I just finished a degree. I couldn't imagine being their ancient age of like 26 or so and going back to college, you know. But of course, like a fool, I spent the rest of my life in college, either working or studying, and I only left 2 years ago to get a real job in Microsoft. So what I've spent a lot of time doing is teaching, and I used to teach very small kids computer programming, and then I got a job teaching bigger and older and more experienced kids, is the word we use, experienced, computer programming. And the same challenges appear with all of them, okay? And I'm not going to teach you computer programming tonight. What I do want to say is that it's getting easier to do more and be more productive and to achieve really cool things. And there was a time where I couldn't have given this talk without teaching you so much stuff before we could do one line of computer code. And you'd all be really angry, bored, and trying to sneak out the back. And we don't have to do that anymore. When I was told about this session, I was actually on holidays in Spanish Point, Carl, when I heard about this session. And, you know, I didn't know what my presentation was going to be. And then when I got back from my holidays, I was told, oh, we've already put in the description of your session. You're going to build an app in 20 minutes. Thank you, Carl, for that. Now, no one can build an app in 20 minutes unless they have the tools and the skills and all that stuff. So I'm going to disappoint you and not build it live, but I'm going to show you how I built some of it. So imagine, you know, what's the app going to be? Well, it's obviously going to be the NCI's Go Further Sessions app. So they've got a very fancy website. You've all seen the website, right? It's got a cool logo. Can you see the logo? It's very cool. I mean, I'm not very good at graphic design. Whoever made that logo, it's awesome. It's got a little speedometer and everything on it. It's brilliant. But you've got a logo. You've got an awful lot of text on a web page about it. You've got a video made. Did you see the video? It's got like really dramatic music and everything, you know, it's really inspiring. Now I can't make a video either, but you'll notice that all of this stuff is content. It's pictures, it's videos, it's text, it's stuff that I haven't written. But I have the skill that all those video makers and text writers and artists don't have, is that I know how to compile it all into an app. Now web design, people do this all the time. They take your content, they make a lovely web page. Okay? And I've nothing against web pages. It is a lovely web page for this whole session. But I'd like to have it in an app that will go on your phone, and your tablet, and your desktop, and what have you. Now, we're nearly at the point where you can point at any website, click one button, and get a beautiful, ready-to-go app ready-made. That is touch responsive and knows about different types of phones. And we're nearly there. I'm not going to demonstrate this because it doesn't exist yet. We're nearly there. There are tools that kind of do that. But instead, I used a tool. It's called Project Sienna. It's free. It's on Windows 8 and above and Windows 10. You can all go home and download it if you've got Windows 8 or above. And it lets you build an app without any code. So I'm not going to show computer code here because Project Sienna makes the code for me. And what I get at the end of it is an app which I can actually run on just about anything. And that is smart enough to figure out, well, I'm on this type of device, I better look this way. Oh, they've turned it now to portrait mode. I better look that way. Now, is it going to make every single possible type of app out there? Are you going to make Angry Birds with this? Are you going to make games? No. It's got a very restricted set of things it can do, but in fairness, it's kind of doing them by magic for you without any hard effort. So you have to accept that it can't do everything, but what it can do makes it really easy. The amazing thing is that the hardest thing to do in computer programming used to be like computer graphics and assembly language programming to make the fastest game on the most amazing 3D engines and all that stuff. I used to teach that stuff. You'd spend more time teaching maths than doing any programming. And Even that's getting easy now. Believe it or not, we see kids in coder dojos making games after about 2 weeks of learning. And if they could do it, you can do it. You can achieve great things with the tools that are now available. And by the way, all the tools I'm showing tonight and talking about tonight are free from Microsoft for all students. So you can get this, you could go home and download it tonight from the Windows Store. So as I said, I've got a web site, you can see it up there, and I want to have an app. And what's going to be in the app? Well, I'm not going to create any new content, I just want to have your content. I'm pointing over here because, you know, there's the boss man over there. But I'm just saying, it's your content, you've already made it, I want to put it into an app for you. So I've got 3 images. I've got the Go Further Sessions logo, I've got the National College of Ireland, I've got Microsoft, I've got all the text, and I've got the video from YouTube, okay? You know, let's pretend you sent me the video and that I didn't just download it off YouTube. And why not I've got all this content, how do I put it together? So I've done 2 versions of this app. One I made on Monday and the other I made today. And I timed the one today for 20 minutes. But I want to show you here, on the left-hand side, you can see it's a phone silhouette. It's not a real phone. That's not a photograph of my phone. It's a drawing of one. And there's the logo and there's 3 buttons. And each button has watch the Go Further video, read about the next session, or RSVP the next session. 3 very simple things. But each one of them has an obvious result. When I tap that button, I'm either going to see a video, I'm going to read about it, or it's going to open up a link where I can do the RSVP. How many of you RSVP'd on the link on the website? Hands up. Did you bother to RSVP? Who didn't? Who just thought to turn up for the crack? I know, 2 people did. Okay, so again, I just took that content and I haven't written any of this. Now, Kira over there has got a tablet. Could you hold that up, Kira? Kira's my colleague over there. And she has the tablet version running. And what you can see on the screen up here is the phone version. And now I haven't done this, in case the people from NCI jump up and say, wait a minute, we're making an app too, and we're spending a lot more money than that. No, before I think, I haven't submitted this into any of the stores. So this is not, don't go onto your phones to get this in the App Store or the Play Store or the Windows Store. Because I haven't done the final step, which is to say, here's my app out to the public. It's still only on my computer because I'd have to get permission from my virtual customer here to actually do that. And obviously they didn't know I was going to come in and make this app, so I did, they've already given me permission. Now, the thing is that I just want you to look in the middle, okay? And I'm going to show you this on the screen, but it's a bit blurry, but I don't know if you can see it. It says navigate. So when I'm coding, all I usually would do is write all this complex sort of, you know, hieroglyphics about computer stuff. And they'll teach you that if you come study here. And it's hard to learn, but once you've learned it, you're a wizard. But I pretended I was sort of junior wizard, not even Harry Potter, like, you know, even lower than that, like, you know. I just want to click on the button and then say, navigate to a new screen. And it gives me options. I don't know if you can see that there. One of the options is cover. So it covers up the old screen with the new screen. And it's just a simple little thing. It would take weeks to program that if you didn't know about computers, if you had to learn from first principles how to make one screen and a button and click on that button and make another screen appear. Those of you who can program know what I'm talking about. This is not magic. This is hard work. But with these tools, it's really easy. So can I show you an actual live demo of it? And this is where I have to switch off the presentation and we do duplicate. So hopefully you'll be able to see this. Okay. Can you see that? So that's the app, okay, and I'm just going to show you, I'm in edit mode here. That's an image. I can click it up and drag it around, okay, and this is the screen I'm going to see when my code is running. There's the logo. I can decide, the client wasn't happy with the logo placement. Client wanted it over there. There, that's done. By the way, you charge for every change here, okay. Oh, sorry, they'll teach you that in business section of the course. Anyway, so when we're moving this stuff around, you can see when I click on a button here, nothing happens because I'm still in edit mode. So instead, if you look down here, I don't know if, yeah, you can see that it's all sorts of things like on select what should happen. And it does tell me what the weird computer code looks like, but I don't have to read that. I can just use these nice buttons here to do it for me. So for example, I can say I want that to navigate, and it says, what page should you go to? And I'll say, oh, the welcome video page, and it should fade instead of cover, as I used to have it in cover. I haven't typed anything yet. I'm still clicking with the mouse. Now, is all programming that easy? I'm sorry, now there's the bad news. All programming is not this easy. And any lecturers here who teach computer programming are going to be thinking, oh no, they'll think this is too easy. No, no, programming is hard. Like, someone had to make this program. It didn't just, fall out of the sky. But there's a difference between having to program everything from first principles and building on the incredible work that's gone on before. And remember what Niall said about IoT, and he was talking about all this data. The really cool thing about tools like this is, rather than you creating everything, I got static content with the video and the text and the images. But you can also get dynamic content, which in Niall's case would be all that sensor data he's generating from all over the place. So like he's got, I don't know, how many trilobytes or whatever it was, like trilobytes, some sort of fossil, I think. I mean, lots and lots and lots of data. And I can actually say, do you know that data that's publicly available about rainfall in Ireland? I want to pull that in. And you know that information about student attendances that the Department of Education publishes in aggregate form about how many students didn't turn up in each school on any given day? I can pull that in, and I can see a correlation between bad weather and poor school attendance, and I can display it on a nice graph in an app, and I can do that without writing any code. And that's what's really incredible about being able to drag in all this available information. And I'm just going to show you now, we're beginning to get hard. I hit F5 and I'm in running mode, so there's my app running. And I hit this and it opens up and I've got a video. I start playing a video. Again, not a video I made, but it's playing. Enough of that, we'll go back. And I can go in here and you'll notice that it doesn't look the same as the web page because it's not a web page. I copied and pasted it. I did my great design skills, as you can see. I am slightly colorblind, but I thought that was a nice color. Everyone disagrees with me. I can even go RSVP, and if I have an internet connection, up comes the page to do the booking. And it's just incredible that with no coding, even though I could build this from first principles in code, but I'll go back into edit mode and I can go in and change anything. One thing I wanted to show, but unfortunately I didn't get the publishing rights set up, is I can actually pull in a YouTube channel playlist. And this college is very lucky. You've got Eugene O'Loughlin, who is the most followed lecturer on how to do statistics in Excel and do stuff with PowerPoint that I certainly can't do. And he has a playlist. He has hundreds of videos. I don't know what the number is, but it's a big number. And I've actually seen Eugene present, and all of his videos include, very good, useful details for how to get started on this stuff for a student. And anyone who's had Eugene as a lecturer will know that he publishes everything up on YouTube for you to consume. So I was experimenting with being able to pull it up. It's a little bit scary. Eugene's not here, so he won't be too upset. But see this gallery? I can swipe along a gallery here. And this isn't in the one that I've passed around the room, I'm afraid. But if you swipe along here and hit these, you can actually go in and watch Eugene present. Now, again, I didn't make any of these videos with Eugene, okay? That's enough Eugene. So the amazing thing is that now obviously I didn't ask Eugene for this either, though I do know Eugene. Imagine you could say, I've already got that content on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook or SharePoint or wherever it is. It's already up there. It's already available to me. I have the credentials to see it, or it's public. Why don't I compile it into an app? If I'm Eugene, why don't I compile it into an app and say to my students, oh, by the way, rather than going onto YouTube and getting distracted by all those nice cat videos, I have an app called the Eugene O'Loughlin app, and it's just for you. And it's available on every platform. Now, they don't know that it's just the YouTube video, and maybe his Facebook, and maybe his whatever it is. But it's all the content he controls on the different social media platforms brought in together. So, you see this app here? I didn't spend 20 minutes designing it. I bet they spent more than 20 minutes making that video. I'd say they spent more than 20 minutes writing the text. And that logo, I have no idea how long that took. But you can imagine that no one completes anything complex and cool in 20 minutes. But you can bring all the incredible stuff that other people have made, compile it and say, there's my marketing app ready to go from the National College of Ireland to go further sessions. It can be available on everything, and as long as you've internet, it'll, without distracting you on YouTube with anything else, without letting you go off on the wrong hashtag on Twitter, bring it all together. Now, I went a little bit fast because I knew we were running over time. I'm going to finish up now. Remember, Project Siena, S-I-E-N-A, 1N, and I'll demonstrate here in Read More. This is all editable and ready to go. You can actually share this with someone and say, you're better at colours and design than me. Could you fix that? And there is no code. That entire app was made, and I've locally published it so I can install it via USB rather than through the store on a tablet over there. You can have a go. And all of that was done without writing one line of code. So I hope you've enjoyed that demonstration of you don't have to be some sort of code wizard, or what do the Coder Dojo people call them? Ninjas. You don't have to be a code ninja, code Jedi, whatever you want to be, a code Yeti. You don't have to be one of those to create cool and amazing things. And Microsoft's making those tools available for free for everyone. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll be here to answer questions at the end of the session. Thank you very much.